This weekly Blender competition is brought to you by Grand Abbott. Grand Abbott provides Blender tutorials for beginners and experienced users such as sculpting, modeling, texturing, animating, and a lot more. So make sure you check out his channel and Discord if you haven't already. You can find a link in the description. Welcome at the weekly Blender competition number 14, which I'm going to criticize the art entries and choose some winners. And the subject for this week was to create interior architecture. We have 9 entries and I really appreciate that you guys have joined. First of all, what is architecture? Architecture, in simple words said, it's art combined with science. I got a few examples down here of interior architecture. Most of the times it looks just very fancy, very arty, and very modern at this time period. Now, of course, besides interior architecture, we also got exterior architecture. Interior architecture can be a little bit a difficult thing to do, but let's see what people got for us for today. The first entry is of Yeti, and Yeti says, my take on the interior architecture being that I'm no architect, this was more about how the rooms connect with a sci-fi twist. I am new to all this Blender, so it was fun to give it a try, hence the basic models and textures. I don't know what hence means, but let's take a look at your art. I really like simplistic things, even though it's difficult to get a lot of feedback onto it. You said this was more about how the rooms connect, but I also noticed another thing is that you have different kind of lighting almost in each room. The only thing that I would say, this window here or this light source here, it should be gone, and then make another 2 of these things in each corner. That really would give each room their own light source. I really like this idea of stairs and then going down and having a slide and then a tube. It's almost like a kid playground. Yeah, and I notice here that this pipe on the end is closed off. It could be a door, of course, but I think you might forget to open this up. And I would say get this blue light out of here just to give this red and this yellow a nice chance to meet up in the middle for a nice mixture of orange, I would say. It's simplistic. I like it. So good job on that, Yeti. The second entry is of Razzle Puff, if I pronounced that the right way. And Razzlepop says, been working on this for the last few days, so this competition team was a good timing. First completed project, so it would be good to get some feedback. Struggling to get realism, some models from Blender Kit, great add-on. For your first project, I have to be real honest, it's very, very good. You said you struggle on realism. I think you also done a very, very good job on this. I have been doing a realism competition, and this is outstanding. And of course, I have some things to say, but first of all, compliment. I've been looking at this art before, and for some reason I was doing this. And I was like, wow, this looks really, really nice. So, you have done a good job on realism, because I really like this picture like so. But let's take a look at the overall. Now, of course, in the overall, there are some parts that are plain. So, over here, you could maybe hang up like a very artistic artwork, or you can build in some furniture. What you can also do is like a wooden plank, or I just don't know what it's called. Just a wooden plank along the line down here to just break off the plainness. Another thing that I would say is, or make the ceiling from this lower, or put the lights a little bit more up. If you put this lower, what you could do is just continue the foliage, which looks very nice. Put it down there. I really like the wood, I really like the color on the walls, I really also like these lamps, they're very artistic. I like the combination of the furniture and the stuff you have laying around. The pillows in the corner is a nice touch. I also like that you spend some attention onto, make the shadowing look fancy. The light is very warming, the color balance. For your first completed project, I would say this is very, very well done. So good job on that, WrestlePuff, and welcome to the competitions. The third entry is, oh, there we go again. So Crabson. And also Crabson went for realism. Now Crabson is one of the Blender artists that's very good in realism. But Mr. Crabson, there are some things that I noticed straight away, and also for you, it's a little bit plain. But on the architect feeling, you've done a very nice job onto the ceiling with the light coming in, the light roof, as I like to call it. I don't know the proper word for this. You got very artistic shapes in here. It's probably a very nice building, also from the outside. Yeah, it's a little bit plain, I would say. With that, just a few simplistic things, I would say. Just drop down some magazines underneath here and place some plants around, like just standing plants, like maybe even a big oh man, my English sometimes. Yeah, like a big crate or furniture with plants on the top of it, whatever. You probably know what I mean. And some pots with plants on them. Plants, some green around, really would fill up this area with this nice white and this nice grayish. It's the same with this one. It's very grayish. This green really fills it up. And I really like the idea of both of you guys. You have, you know, something for the roof. Another small touch, make an airplane. But it's really about this architecture. I think it's very, very, very nice. So, good job on that, Crabson. The fourth entry is of Adnan Edits. I forget each time. I first need to press shift and then my scroll. Sorry for the cringing moments. Adnan Edits don't have any art because he has a Google Drive clip, and I'm kind of impressed with that. So let's just play it. And it really gives me a feeling of a Pixar room. It really feels like one of the Pixar's characters would just walk in there. For some reason, the color is very nice in this one. The color, also the light. Of course, there are some things that I have to say about this, but it really gives me this Pixar feeling. It's done very well, very nice. A big ass TV. So one of the things in the animation, I would say, is that the camera all of a sudden does something weird. There is something right around here, and then it slows down. Make this wobbly flow and keep the wobbly flow going. Don't let it stop and then turn around like this, because it gives it not really a human feeling, while the wobbly stuff gives it a human feeling. So you just need to do a little bit job onto the camera work if you really want to show architecture. Another thing that I noticed over here is there's something weird going on in the corner of the wall, like right down here. It's almost like you want to add some, I don't know, maybe dirt or a little bit debris, if they call that. Something, but it looks very, if it's like mirrors or something, like foggy mirror or something. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Another thing that I noticed, that this poster down here should be a little bit lesser stretched out. It's very stretched out to the left and right. It should be more up and down, but that's small things. But before I start about the architecture, there is one other thing that I noticed very, very much, and that is how small this door is down here. This door post or panel on top should be at least down here, and it should be more wider. This door is very, very small. Now, of course, in different countries, they have different door sizes and different closet sizes. Excuse me. But I always try to look around me to compare stuff. I have a closet like this, and this closet like this is just, you know, barely coming with the door right down here. My door top is coming here, and then there is a piece with glass, and behind me there is another one of these with double doors, and even that thing is just barely coming underneath here. And I also compare, it's difficult to see, but yeah, it's just a very small door. This door should be way more bigger. But like I said, this it gives a really nice feeling on something Pixar. It's like I feel like a character will just jump in. I don't know, something of that. Now about the interior architecture, I like I said at the beginning, it's very difficult to do something about that. It's just a very simplistic room. But you do have something on top. Give it a little bit more of a lesser plain feeling. But this is more of a decoration thing. It's not really art and science, but it's very simplistic. So maybe you can. What is that actually? I just noticed that right now. Is that a lamp or so, or is this like a light ceiling, sunlight come through? Yeah, I like the whole picture. If I would say next objective is Pixar art, then this thing would definitely fit in very well. But the architecture interior, it's very difficult to be outstanding with this. You know, like, hey, look at this. But you have done an amazing job on texturing, on modeling, except for the door and maybe stressed out poster, but I like it a lot. So very nice one on that one. Add none edits. Let me go back to Blender here. The fifth entry is of In Crusher. Here we go again. I maybe I just need to do this different next time. In Crusher doesn't say anything, just like add none edits. And I forgot actually, Crapson was saying, I made this today, since the theme is interior architecture, the entire focus is on architecture, so yeah, excuse me for the plans, Crapson. In Crusher has made something related to the stop what's happening on the day of today, COVID-19, or with other words, Corona. Well, I don't like it, but I like the way how this whole room is empty, giving me the feeling everything is just packed into this thing, like all the stuff is just into this tiny little thing. This guy lost his prosthetic arm. Prosthetic? I don't know. I want to make a joke and I failed with that. Interior architecture. It's very simple. I'm missing something like arty, something crazy. It's more of a fun joke, this, and news related. I like the couch model though. It's very nice. The floor is very nice. Nice little bit of reflection onto it. The background is nice. The balance between the interior color and exterior color is also close together, I would say. I'm not going to say it's on point, but it's close together. Just next time, try to make something arty in here. Just something. But I'm not going to complain. Welcome in Crusher at the weekly Blender competition. You've still done a nice job. You tried to be funny. It worked out pretty well. Entry number 6 is of Ravager. Ravager made a little bit unusual picture here of a, it looks like a hallway of an apartment complex, which is, you know, I wouldn't say not fun to look at, but it's a little bit unusual to look at. Just take a picture of a random apartment building. I do have to say you have done a lot in this picture to make it look realistic. Some points I would say the realism is very nice. At other points I would say there's something wrong with it. What I like is you got like different spots onto the carpet here and there, which is a very nice touch to realism. You got even some spots onto the plant pot down here. I would say it needs to, you know, be a touch off. But there's more personal thing. Also with this trash can here, a touch off. Maybe give it a slight rotation, because nothing is perfect in this world. Nothing is just standing perfect, is sharpened off perfect. I do like the light coming off in here. Sometimes it can be very bright, so that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. This, I have seen it. The shadow is nice. I only would say that this light here should be, you know, duplicated down here. For my feeling, the camera is too far back to not see another one of these lights. Are these mailboxes because they feel a little bit small, or is this... it's hard to tell what it is. At least for me it is. The only place where I've seen this kind of things is maybe in a bank or something, where they hide some jewels or some money, or... if these are mailboxes, they should be a little bit bigger, but like I said, it's for me personally hard to tell what it is. Other people might straight away know what it is. I like the texturing onto this trash can here. They got some nice detail on here. I like the bench. I like wait, you got 2 trash cans? I'm just noticing that right now. The planch looks very nice. Let's just give it a zoom in. It looks very nice. It looks quite realistic. Yeah, like I said, it's a little bit difficult to you know, give feedback onto this, as you know, it's just a picture of a hallway from a apartment complex. But you have done a nice work on texturing, modeling, lights, that kind of stuff. So welcome to Raventure. Our 7th entry is of Zapier. Zapier says, well, everyone else was doing realistic, so yeah, I want to do something different, and yes, it's my logo onto the wall. Now I'm thinking of Sentimon was working onto also a, what is called, isometric looking room. He didn't ever finish it, which is a little bit of a shame, because he started out very well. So this is your logo, or this? I'll take it's this one, because of the Z. It's very simplistic. I like simplistic. I think you, how you say that? It's very brave you try to do this on isometric. But once again, it looks very much like a simple room. I don't see much of a architecture thing on here. But it's very, very difficult to do that on isometric. Maybe someday I'm going to do isometric architecture. You guys have another chance to do so. But what I would recommend is always try to look at Google Pictures. Just type in interior architecture, and you can see like all kinds of crazy stuff which normally you wouldn't have in your own home. But for the competition, it's very nice. I do like this piece of art down here. It's very nice. I do like the colors. What you've been using here is very, very nice with the background as well as onto the overall picture. The light is very good. You can see all the details. It's very simple. It's difficult to say something about it any other than I'm just missing a tiny touch of interior architecture. It's something that has to happen with building and not with, I believe, if I'm not wrong, with the stuff inside, like furniture and so, but I could be wrong. I didn't do any research on that. If so, then let me know down below in the comment section. But I like this color balance and light, and yeah, very nice job, Zapier. I hope I will see you back again after this. Entry number 8 is of Dranor. Also welcome. He says, hope it's not too late. I had a lot of fun. Not very polished. Well, you were still on time. As long as it's not the next day of the deadline, you are still on time. Again, very simplistic. A thing that I noticed straight away is the color. It's just yellowy, orangey, brownish / bluish, whitish, blackish, grayish, which is a very nice combination. Or better to say, there are only 2 colors, and from that it fades away. Architecture, well, it's difficult because sci-fi architecture, I mean, it's like, you know, you got like a missing bridge part here, you got this, whatever this is, like a giant skull. yeah, simplistic it is. Feedback very difficult. I do like it, overall. The color balance is just very nice. You got a lot of light going on here and there to see the small details, because that is important too. Yeah. Nice job, I would just say. And yeah, I hope I will also see you back to see more of your art, because everyone always makes different things. Try to make different things. Our 9th entry, the last one, is Lessimus. I do have some stuff to say about this. I will try to keep it short, because the longer I'm doing this, the more tired I'm getting. So much respect for Grant doing a 2-hour live stream with everyone moaning in the chat and talking. First of all, I miss something, something that bangs out as it's about the interior architecture. It's just a very simplistic room. Of course, you have wood down and up. I do see houses with still with wooden floors though, but for some reason it doesn't really match up. It just needs a little touch different here and there. I would just say just make the whole ceiling white. And give it some texture that it's some plaster has been sprayed onto the roof. Then it would fit in a lot better, I would say. Or if you make floors, make some wooden beams go here and there. But I would say just change this to plaster ceiling, just because this is a very modern look and this is very, very old school. Something. I do like the models that have been made in here, as it's about the furniture. I really like the carpet. Let me just zoom in for a bit. It has different bits and pieces here, which is very nice. It looks fluffy. It really looks like it's very nice for your bare feet. I like this glass in here. I haven't seen that much. The light of the sun is very on point. Sometimes it can be very this bright though. What I also notice is that this TV, which has nothing to do with interior architecture, but I'm still going to say this TV is very, very thick. It needs to at least be, this black part at least cut in half, at least. It has a giant extent though. You don't have to be afraid that it falls over. And the part with the bed, the alarm clock, lights, and the books needs to be way more bigger. Because last night I looked at this picture, tried to see what I can say about it and what I cannot say about it. I grabbed the hand onto one of the door handles and I noticed that these things are not that very big. So putting your hands on one of these things and then compare it with this lamp is very small. Alarm clock is super duper small. Of course, alarm clocks can be very small, but it just feels in overall very small. These books need to be a slight touchy larger. But in overall, just this. The bed needs to be a bit bigger because, well, unless you have a fat face like me, this pillow is very small. But I do really like the models. I do like the texturing. I do like the light on this. You've done a lot here and there. So very nice entry. I have chosen 4 winners on 4 different points. These points are going to be objective, simplistic / minimalism, realism, lighting, and coloring, because the lighting, if that is good, the color should be good, and the other way around. If not, then it cannot be. So in this case, the objective, which is actually the most important one, is going to be the Crab Sun. Because Crab Sun really shows the interior architecture. So congratulations, Crab Sun, on winning the objective. The next winner is going to be for the simplistic / minimalism, which also still has a touch of interior architecture. Now, of course, there are multiple simplistic things in here, like Zapier has some simplistic, Drenor has simplistic things. In Crusher has simplistic something because everything is packed into the suitcase down here. But I'm talking about Yeti. Yeti made something very simplistic, but also still it has some interior architecture. That is the way how the rooms are connected. So Yeti, congratulations on winning the simplistic minimalism. The realism. There are 3 people that come very close to the realism. There is a reason why I've chosen one person. This one person is gonna be Razzlepuff. Razzlepuff made a very fantastic realism artwork down here. My favorite thing is still going to be what I did last night, is cut this piece out here, and I really find this a very nice, enjoyable piece to look at. The reason why Razzlepuff and not Crabson or Ravager. Crabson already won the objective, so that one drops off. And if I need to compare Ravager with Razzlepuff, both have realism, but Razzlepuff still has interior architecture into his artwork, and this just feels more like a simplistic picture of a hallway. Just next time try to take a picture of something else. It can be a hallway because Crabson also has some kind of a hallway or a middle hallway, whatever it's called, but you can really tell some architecture interior stuff in there, and this is just very I would say normal thing. So Razzlepuff, once again, congratulations on winning the realism. Now, there is only one person that certainly wins the lightning / coloring place, and that is actually going to be the person that doesn't fuel onto this place down here. Got some air stuck in my throat, excuse me. That is going to be Etnan Edits. For some reason, I just really love, especially this shot down here. It really feels very nice with the light and the colors combined together, giving me a Pixar feeling. Yes, there is not much of an interior architecture into this picture, but this is more of a bonus, winning the lightning and coloring place. So, Adnan Edits, congratulations with the Pixar look. Ooh, let me know down below what you think of this winning system. It's maybe a little bit unclear. Maybe I need to, put some names of the winning places down here to make it less confusing, or do I need to go back to the first, second, and third place? Just let me know your feedback. Let me know what you think about these artworks. And of course, we have the objective of next week, which is going to be exterior architecture, because that is a thing too. So don't be afraid to just drop in Google, to look at these pictures, look at I always find this weird stuff, like weird art. I mean, I would never live in a house like that unless it might look like something like this, with a gigantic water tap outside. Let me just put this up down here. Where is it? Don't be afraid. There we go. So next week's challenge subject, exterior architecture. The deadline will be March 24 at 2300 hours GMT time. For now, stay safe and thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more Blender, and also questions and requests are welcome anytime.